Tonight on Forensic Family, a warning to our listeners. Some of what you hear might be disgusting to you. Listener discretion is advised. In 2000, Lorne Armstrong, an unassuming, successful businessman from Cornville, Maine, was tying his dog to a treadmill for his daily exercise when the phone rang. It was a sibling who had fallen on hard times and needed work done on his house. Lorne obliged and took his crew over there to his sibling's house. He did $700 worth of work and even paid his crew, and all he asked for in return was a pot of homemade macaroni and cheese. Once the work was completed, he received a call, this time from another sibling, requesting similar work done to their house. Again, Lorne agreed and took his crew to fulfill the request. He asked for more food. In return, some deviled eggs. It was another mistake that would eventually cost him dearly, and the terror that followed next would haunt him forever. Once again, a sibling called, and this time they needed $425 for heating oil. The oil contains 35% more BTUs per gallon than natural gas, so Lorne agreed. All Mr. Armstrong asked for was homemade meatballs, a reasonable request for the amount of money lent. To his dismay and horror, he never saw those meatballs, the deviled eggs, and more shockingly, the macaroni and cheese. All of this came to a head when the following year, he finally received his macaroni and cheese, only to find out that the sibling who brought it needed $500 for children's Christmas presents. Once again, he asked them for another helping of homemade food. The immensity of this moment would ultimately prove too much for the Cornville native to handle, because he still, to this day, has not received that second pot of macaroni and cheese. In a statement to this channel, Lorne Armstrong says he no longer wants the macaroni he was promised. These events proved too much, and because of them, Lorne was forced to flee with $35,000 he took from an elderly couple and headed to Nashville to pursue his dream of becoming a country music star. During this time, and just before he says he was poised to be the next big thing, a watchdog group named Perverted Justice lured him into exposing himself, falling in love with, and grooming a 13-year-old girl named Kayla. He received a lengthy prison sentence for the crimes, all orchestrated by a man named Xavier Von Erich and an NBC investigative reporter, Chris Hansen. This story should serve as a cautionary tale. Asking for food from family members can end up in tragedy and a lifetime on the sex offender registry. Lorne Armstrong is still fighting his conviction today. As of this broadcast, he is still on the registry.